I'm delighted to introduce our first featured reader. Gabriella Fee's poetry appears in The Common, the Cortland Review, Guesthouse, Michigan Quarterly Review, Washington Square Review, Sprung Formal Letters, and the American Literary Review. It is forthcoming in the Best American Poetry 2024. Gabriella's co-translation of Giovanna Cristina Vivinetto's Dolore Minimo won the Malinda A. Markham Translation Prize and was published in 2022 with Saturnalia Books. Copies of that volume are available here today. Dolore Minimo was longlisted for the 2023 PEN American Award for Poetry and Translation. Gabriella holds an MFA from the writing seminars at Johns Hopkins University and has received fellowships from Yaddo, the Vermont Studio Center, the Virginia Center for the Creative Arts, and the Fulbright Foundation. I'm delighted that she's with us today. Gabriella Fee.
Thank you, David, and thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Emma. I'm really glad to be here with you all. This first poem is called Dinner Party. My friend Bill was choosing between Harvard and Yale Law. I made ravioli from scratch for everyone, and Bill said, Yale's pedagogy is concerned with how the law should be, but at Harvard you learn the black letter of the law, not only in preparation for academia and clerkships, but in order to practice the black letter of the law. Of course, no one understands the law at the end of law school, but I would have a foundation, at least, in the black letter of the law. He talked for a long time about the black letter of the law, and no one said anything about the ravioli. I thought, how did I get here? Where am I going? I went to the bathroom to be alone with my anger about women's invisible labor, and for some reason imagined the cortical homunculus with its lips and fingertips, like the Venus of Willendorf, all tits and ass, and thought, I am my only body of knowledge, and unequal to the task, so wide, so formless, without the black letter to fall back on. Will I spend my life looking for something to say about myself? I turned on the light that hangs over the mirror, but it was too dim to make out my features, and anyway, don't I know my own face? Buoyancy. At Revere Beach, you wrapped your legs around my waist. I carried you. This was only possible underwater. You were taller than me, and stronger. Overhead, equally spaced airplanes descended, low enough to say aloud, Lufthansa, Aer Lingus, Spirit, United. On the sand, the less fortunate passed in 3s and 4s with their umbrellas, their children, their bouncing, leashed dogs. You weighed as little as if I held you in a dream or a painting by Magritte of bright water and descending plains. When I released you, you pulled aside the hem of my bathing suit with your thumb, my hair lifted. Can everyone hear me? This is a poem called Blues 1, and it's the first in a series of 3 blues poems. I'm only going to read the first, but just so you know the context. Blues 1. Jack was a twin like Romulus, and then, like Romulus, Jack wasn't. Jack's short for Johnny, short for a boy, broad-shouldered with a Medici nose. Jack's a 3-pointer, Jack's a rake, Jack's with a D after Juna Barnes. Jack is a satyr, a mascaron. Jack's got a face for Art Nouveau. Jack is a newsprint smudge on the index finger. Jack is blown glass. Jack is green as a Murano bottle, postmodern with a narrow neck. Jack is lapis-blooded. Jack is pedigreed. Jack waves a fazzoletto in the window of a mansion by the sea. I dropped a pearl in the street, and Jack found it under a Honda Civic. Jack said I had been listening for it. It hardened all night in Jack's pocket like a little prick. My body is Jack's body. When Jack arches neck and back, I feel my spinal column crack. Jack has hair like a hard-boiled private detective. Dark hair runs into Jack's jeans. Jack is a split fig. I like the way Jack's t-shirts fit. Jack's fingernails are the porthole windows of a submarine. Jack is 5'11" in wool socks. Jack's hands always blister on the oar. Jack is nimble, and all that. Some days Jack's a bore. Jack's the only boy who ever got me wet. I'm real sick, and Jack is a canker sore. Jack is smart. By 10, Jack knew the major constellations by heart. Jack's my sweetest friend. Jack stays over late. I bring out my toys, pewter horse, tarot cards, broken pocket watch on a sterling chain. Jack dances on a stage between the wars. Jack's underwear is lace. Embossed on every coin, Jack's soft-eyed, savage Roman face. Jack stalks the grounds in houndstooth. Jack runs a pack of dogs. Jack lies between my legs and winks. Mondays, Jack's my father. Tuesdays, Jack's my son. Jack tacks and jibes across the bay. Jack only has a feeling when Jack drinks. Jack lives for me. I live for Jack. Jack's 100 years ahead. Jack reaches back from time to time. Jack reaches forward too. Jack's sandalwood, Jack's bourbon. My nose fills with Jack's perfume. Jack, I say, and take Jack's hand. What is it lovers do? Jack is tender, legal tender. Jack hates and craves a fight. Jack's easily embarrassed. It's the sense Jack's best refined. Jack's guarding an old secret, keeps it 7 fathoms deep. The secret is, as Jack well knows, there isn't one to keep. Repetition compulsion. As you can see, I have one of my own, repetition compulsion. We all do. Anyway, repetition compulsion. Sweet boy, if indeed you are still sweet, I bet your bed is tangled, and you lounge at the foot of it, all legs, while that glamorous woman standing at the sink drapes a hot washcloth over her face. At my dinner party, she dropped a glass of Shiraz, referred to herself as an analysand. As an analysand, I tried to meet your eye, but you stared at the red helix in my carpet. That was 2 years ago. Now you write, gee, we hope to find a 1-bedroom in Jamaica Plain. We're looking for something with natural light. Here's a snapshot of those mourning doves you like. And your poems? I remember a few of your repeating lines. Olivia's analyst says we repeat ourselves endlessly. You know how well I work within constraint. The same thing again and again, then something breaks. Tremont Street. 5 years on, Tremont Street pursues me. I hack my hair into the sink, so there will be a time before and a time after. But Tremont Street regrows and falls in pale ropes down my back. Tremont Street stalks me between parked cars, leans cat-like against a hood until an alarm blares, wakes me at 3 a.m. to sorrow bolt upright with the robin in the blue, neither here nor there, where the air conditioner doesn't fit the frame, where the dog sprays entrails across the porch, and the Uber is late at the end of the night, and the loosed absinthe clouds. Tremont Street is the yellow dog, and the flayed rat, and the rattling AC, the window frame, and the moon through it, the green liquor, and the sugar cube, and the fine hand holding the spoon, checking its watch, saying, the car is late, why not come inside? Come up the steep stairs in your little skirt and keep warm. Tremont Street is full of tricks like this. It would inter me in the playground, beneath the swings, or outside Bukowski's in my leather jacket, smoking Camels, waiting for it to finish its shift, to flick its white rag into its back pocket. Tremont Street still warms the seat at the end of the bar. It finds what I've lost, a ticket stub, a pearl earring. It washes the dishes I leave in the sink. I walk late afternoons in London, Baltimore, New York, and Tremont Street stirs like a honey locust against the windows of all the pubs I stop in. It is a molten quality of the light, a crown I will die wearing, heavy with emeralds. If I forget Tremont Street will be that forgetting. When my mouth opens in death, Tremont Street will climb out like a scarab beetle. I don't want you anymore, I say, but I have no power to wound it, only myself by lying, and Tremont Street carries on like a liver filtering my blood. The next two poems were written, they're persona poems from the perspective of a lighthouse keeper. They were actually written in David Yezi's class a few years ago, so thank you, David. The first is a lighthouse keeper considers love, and the second is a lighthouse keeper considers solitude. So she just goes about considering things. And this is two of a series of, I think there are 9 or 10 of them. Love. She came neither by schooner nor skiff, neither by sea nor brackish channel, neither by south nor east nor west. And if she came by north, I saw nothing of her arrival, standing as I do with the ice sheet at my back. She said neither please nor thank you, had neither suitcase nor hat. When I gave her the choice of spare bedrooms, she took neither yellow nor red. She was neither tired nor wakeful, spoke neither kind words nor cruel. When I set her a place at my table, she took neither chair nor stool. She was neither pale nor dark-haired, neither fat nor thin. Evenings I ran her a bath. She neither got out nor stayed in. She could neither dive to an oyster bed, nor sail to town for new oil, nor pull hard on a fishing line, nor tell humpback from right whale. She was neither a wit nor a reader. She could neither weed nor sow. When she sat in the garden while I pulled one potato after another from a rocky furrow, she sang, neither fast nor slow. Solitude. When I was young, I searched my body for the truth about me. Now my body begins to slide off the top of me, to rise to the top of me and slide away like congealed fat. I crest and break with no beam cast over me. I am a medallion rubbed down by constant touching. Undressed, I resemble a woman carved into the prow of a ship, roughly hewn, featureless, so as not to offend the living or the dead shouldered nightly into the sea. It isn't that the body lies, just that it moves in its own cross-current, away from the truth the spirit tells. And why should I represent myself? The bodies of objects are used and loved freely. Doesn't the oil lamp stutter? Doesn't the signal light cataract with soot when I shirk the climb? The dog tongues sand from his webbed feet, slavering and stinking of mackerel. I'll go up to the wind. I'll stand in the caressing wind and see if anyone comes. Garlands. As soon as my words attach to each other, they become garlands, draped around what I'm trying to say. What I really want is not to say anything, just to know I'm safe. As a kid, I was never brave when I thought I was being brave. I just wanted to find the safest loneliness and stay there. Instead, I'm in a precarious loneliness all winter, the skin on my lips and knuckles splitting. My aunt calls to tell me about her loneliness, and I think, you are absolutely who I do not want to become. The safest loneliness is being up a tree, while everyone on the ground loves you. There are other lonelinesses that involve love and distance and beauty that are also pretty safe. Then there's the more perilous loneliness, where you aren't very beautiful, but are still loved. And then, of course, the most dangerous loneliness, where you're not beautiful or loved, and you're alone. And this is a prose poem, so it's kind of lineated with dashes, but it's a block of prose. For Mary. It entered Mary like breath enters cupped hands. She knows when. New Year's Day. Sadie at her mother's. She can eat again. Egg salad and paprika. Mary tours the birthing center at Mount Auburn. Home-like, the nurse says. Serene. Mary will labor in water. Deadheads the salvia. Orders a blue dress. Mary's paintings have changed. Are redder. Don't touch my nipples, Al. Cuts Sadie's sandwiches. Halves her grapes. Isn't retching. Mary's midwife's name is Linda. Mary's mother's name. Mary sleeps soundly, massages her perineum in the bath, dreams of a whale in a pool. Sadie makes a fist. Knock, knock. Returns the blue dress. Knock on mommy's. Mary has no friends with kids. Has a little coffee. Don't touch. Wins a Massachusetts Cultural Council grant. Photographs a cardinal. Does not paint it. Mary tells Dr. Byrne, I'm having a private experience. Goes to Bergamo with Priti and Leah. Libra or Scorpio. Better a C-section than a... Mary has a glass of Shiraz. Leaves early. Mary lies on her stomach. Imagines the bartender. Imagines him behind her. His weight. Her hair in his heavy, yanked back. You're nothing but a... Mary is making another. Mary has made more people than she is. Just a few more, is that all right? Am I feeling good?
No.
Okay. How many more? Let's see. Six. Is that all right?
Two
Does that
more.
sound good?
But who's counting?
Two more.
Two more? Oh, gotcha. Okay, sounds good. In that case, I will.
Yeah,
Okay.
like 20 minutes is perfect.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yes. I'm gonna do. All right. This is another prose poem. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do the prose poem. I'm going to do Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. Actually, no. I'm going to do the prose poem.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Prose.
All right. What luck. I suspect I have a minor case of kyphosis, so I watch a series of videos on YouTube about how to engage the muscles around the cervical and thoracic spine without creating too much of an anterior bend in the lumbar region. I follow along from my yoga mat, where the instructor suggests I imagine an insect buzzing toward me. Retract your chin, he says, as if to prevent the insect from entering your mouth. I've taken a quarter of an Adderall I found this morning in the back of the bathroom cabinet, hoping it would help me finish my fellowship application, but it seems only to have magnified the intensity of my distractions. I took a 2-hour break to watch a documentary on defensive strategies in chess. Then I gave myself a haircut, meticulously adjusting the clipper guards to even out the back where I can't see. Then I read Calamities by Renee Gladman, who says, writing is the story of the body in thought. It doesn't matter whether that's true or not. It sounds very good. While I'm on my hands and knees retracting and releasing my chin, my friend Sarah texts to tell me she has tested positive for COVID. I reply, oh no, but I think it was selfish of her to fly to Guatemala. Sarah has a great deal of money. At Lake Atitlan, she told me, colorful motorboats line up to take passengers to the small villages along the coast. While she was waiting in line to board the next available vessel, she saw a boat begin to take on water. It had set out just minutes before and was now about 50 meters from shore. The tourists on board were very distressed. One woman was standing and waving her arms in a great sweeping motion that shook the boat back and forth, intensifying their predicament. The tourists on land, recognizing the emergency, also became agitated. A handsome, gray-haired man who had been standing in line beside Sarah began to shake his head and repeat the ambiguous phrase, "What luck?" Before long, 3 Guatemalan men leapt from their own docked boats and swam out to the imperiled one. With the help of the captain, they pulled the tourists back to land, holding the end of the thick, waterlogged docking line. When they emerged from the lake, drenched, to great applause, Sarah was full of adrenaline and hugged the gray-haired man, who turned out to be Australian. Before he flew back to Sydney for his brother's wedding, they had sex for 2 days in his hotel room, stopping only to eat oranges in bed, unsegmented, like apples. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gabriella.